What's up, Tiny House World? Stephen Harrell, Tiny House Listings. I just want to let you guys know about a podcast that I just started. So the whole idea of the podcast is kind of to give you some tiny house inspiration and cover subjects maybe that'll hopefully help you along in your journey to living the tiny house lifestyle. So far as of today, it's July 16, 2017. There's like 4 or 5 episodes up, and I'm going to try to do daily, but it might be several times per week just to see how things go. But I've been recording the podcast kind of like right now when I'm out for a walk or going between coffee shops or just something hits me like an idea. So there's really no rhyme or reason for the format of the podcast, but in the future I think I'll get that more dialed in. So to find the podcast, just click on the link in the description below, or you can just go to iTunes and type in Tiny House Listings Podcast, which it's appropriately named. Appropriately. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Here's an interesting observation I see by a lot of people who aren't really hip to the idea of tiny houses, who aren't really up to date or up to speed on the whole situation. And I've heard them a lot of times ask the question, why are tiny houses so popular? Why do you like tiny houses? It's kind of like they're at the point where they're asking, like, should I dive into tiny houses and try to learn more? Or should I just reject the whole notion? I'm gonna try to jump in and answer the question, why do people like tiny houses? Right off the bat, I have to say, I don't think there's any one particular reason. I think different people have different motivations for why they're into the whole concept of tiny houses. I know for me personally, it was a money thing way back in like 2008 when I first learned about tiny houses. And the whole thing was, the whole movement was in its infancy. It was, when I lived in Denver, Colorado, I lived high on the hog. I had a really good business, and all of my lifestyle reflected that. And then when things kind of came crashing down, I had to figure out a way that, hey, how can I pay cash for a tiny house? I have bad credit, all that stuff. And that's what kind of led me to the whole tiny house situation. So for me, it was money.